Hello friends and welcome to DigiiMento. So today we are starting a new unit, that is your unit 10 from your paper 1. So this is from your paper 1. You must be knowing we have already discussed about all these things about paper 1 and paper 2 and all. So from your paper 1 I will be taking now unit 10. So unit 9 has been already completed, people development. So that unit is already completed and we have also discussed the last 10 years questions from the unit 9. So now we will be taking up unit 10 and this deals with higher education system in India, and we will be completing the entire syllabus, and after that similarly what we have done with unit 9, here also we will be discussing the last 10 years questions. So yeah, this is how we will be approaching this particular unit. Okay, so let's begin. And if you are attending the classes, please do let me know. Send me a hi, hello in this comment section. Okay, so yeah, if you're attending the sessions, please let me know. Hi Vikrant. So yeah, if you're attending the sessions, please let me know. Okay, so we will just begin. So others can join. Now, before that, if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, UGC NET Computer Science, please do subscribe to our channel. And also, if you are preparing for GATE, NTA, UGC NET and PGT Computer Science, we are providing online courses. You can visit our website www.digimento.com, or you can call to this number for getting more details about the online courses that we provide. And please do like this video and also share this with your friends if you like it. Now Vikrant is asking me, today is the first class of higher education system. Yes, this is the first class. So please make sure that you don't miss any classes. You attend the entire series of this module. So please attend all the sessions and also share this video with your friends also. And hi Shiva. So yeah, let's begin. Okay. Now this is the syllabus in your unit 10. So first we will get familiarized with the syllabus. Hi Gayatri, good evening Gayatri. So first what we will do is we will get familiarized with the syllabus, so that when we complete the classes you will be more confident that we have completed the syllabus. So before we go into the syllabus, one basic thing that I want to tell you is regarding the importance of paper 1. So most of you have a tendency of ignoring paper 1, thinking that the weightage of paper 1 is very less. But the fact is that even though the weightage is only half as compared to your paper 2, this is one paper where you can get an added advantage as compared to other students. You need to dedicate only very less time for paper 1, but the output will be very high. So input output ratio, if you consider, the output is very high because most of the students will ignore paper 1, and here 50 questions. So this 50 questions will give you an added advantage in your examination, in your cutoff. So I will personally suggest to follow the classes that we are giving, and all the paper 1 classes are provided free of cost on YouTube. So you can even share it with your friends also. So all the classes are given free of cost. You can attend the sessions every day. There is hardly 1 hour class, so dedicating just 1 hour and then revising the notes, whatever we are giving in the class, would be sufficient for you to get a very good score in paper 1, which will definitely increase your overall marks, and then you will be able to clear the cutoff. So my humble suggestion and also request to all of you would be to give some importance to paper 1 also. So definitely paper 1 is not a waste. Preparation of paper 1 is not a waste. So you will definitely get a benefit for that. So please do try to follow all the classes. And once we complete the syllabus and once we discuss the previous 10 years question paper, I think that will be sufficient for your preparation in paper 1. And please try to give that little time for your paper 1 also. Okay, so let's begin. Vikrant, how many days it will take higher? Hopefully it should be finished in like maybe maximum of 10 days. So that's what I hope so. So in maximum 10 days we will finish, and it will take a few more days to discuss the previous year questions from the higher education system, this particular module. So in case of unit 9 also, we have discussed the last 10 years questions and I'm sure you were benefited out of it. It will give you more confidence. It will help you to attempt those questions and then make the mistakes there and then correct it in the real examination. It will also give you some kind of strategy also. So I hope it was helpful for you. Similarly, we will be adopting a similar strategy for unit 10 also, higher education system in India. Okay, so I think we will begin now. First, beginning with introduction of the syllabus. And hi Shilna, hello. So first let us look into the syllabus. So first subtopic in the syllabus is institutions of higher learning and education in ancient India. So when we say ancient India, it refers to the ancient India. Historically, the ancient India begins with Indus Valley Civilization. So Indus Valley Civilization has formally started, or with that we have formally started our ancient India. Then after the Indus Valley we have the Vedic ages. So Vedic ages, later Vedic and the early Vedic ages. Then we had the Mauryas. Then important kingdoms are Guptas. Then we also have the other kingdoms in different parts of the country. So all these are very, very, very important. Okay, so during all these times, what was the educational system in India that we followed? This is very important. So here we will be discussing about the institutions of higher learning and education in the ancient India. Now ancient India, we basically in history there is no clear cut we cannot clearly say that when does the ancient India end and when does the medieval time begin. So there is no demarcation as such. But what is considered to be the end of ancient India is the start of this Muslim rulers or Islam rulers in India. So till then we have demarcated somewhat as ancient India. Then we will discuss about a very important topic is evolution of higher learning and research in post-independence India, that is after 1947. So here we will be discussing what are the educational policies adopted by independent India. That is, what are the different educational policies of independent India after 1947 and what are the important features of these educational policies. So here we will also be covering the latest new education policy. Even though we have covered it in detail, we will include that also. Then we will be discussing third about the Oriental, conventional and non-conventional learning programs in India. So Oriental, conventional and non-conventional. We will see what are the differences etc. when we come to this topic. Then we will be discussing about professional, technical and skill-based education in India. So professional education, how technical education is imparted and how the skill-based education is imparted. Then next we will have the topic that is value education and environmental education, very, very important. Then we will have various policies, governance and administration. So these are the topics that are included in your unit 10, that is higher education system in India. So yes, so I hope you have familiarized with the syllabus. You can also go through the syllabus from your part one time. You can just read it, because when we are preparing for any competitive examination, the first thing that we should learn is the syllabus. So I will not say you have to by heart, but you have to understand what is a syllabus. The syllabus is actually the demand of the examination. So what the examiner is demanding from you, it is given in the syllabus. So if you know the demand, only then you will be able to give the supply, or what we say as your output, or your preparation can be oriented towards the demand of the examination. So as I say always, two important things to keep in your mind is, first one, to understand the syllabus very well. Second one is to have an idea about how the previous year questions are being asked. So with this, you will get an idea about how your preparation should be done and how you have to study, what are the important topics, and all that. You will have a very good clear-cut idea. So you can yourself go through the syllabus. I'll just give you 1 minute of time so you can go through, then we will just quick start. And anybody else watching this video, please do let me know. Send me a hi, hello, so that I'll know you are watching the classes. Hi Ranju, hi Neetu. So I think we will start now, okay? Yeah. So we will first discuss about the education in ancient India. That is the first topic mentioned in your syllabus. So we will be discussing about that first. So today let's see how the education was carried out in the ancient India. Now, hi Jyoti, hi Gajalakshmi, hello. So the history of education, so it's not that the education as such began in the modern times. So history of education, we can trace it back to ancient India. Now ancient India, as I said, the ancient Indian history in India started with the Indus Valley Civilization. I'll just give you an idea about all this because even though it will not be asked in your examination, this will make your learning more interesting. And also when you are learning, one suggestion is that not just learn for the examination, but also, you know, enjoy your learning process, have some idea, gain some knowledge, and then make it like a very good experience in itself. So that is what we will try to do in the class also. If you have any doubts, if you want me to make any changes in how I take the class, you can definitely comment over the comment session. So now when we talk about the education in ancient India, we need to first of all understand what is ancient India. I have already given you an introduction about ancient India. So we can trace the ancient Indian history from Indus Valley Civilization. But when we talk about Indus Valley Civilization, there are no evidences of providing formal education, even though there was script found in Indus Valley Civilization, which means that these people were literate, or they were knowing how to read and write. So there were certain pictographic scripts found during the time of Indus Valley Civilization, but there is no formal evidence of formal education. So basically, the formal education in India, in the ancient India, began around the 3rd century BC. Now, the 3rd century BC is very, very important period in the Indian history, especially in the ancient Indian history. Why? Because after the Indus Valley Civilization, we had the Vedic culture. So, Vedic culture was introduced in India. Now, ancient India is also very interesting to learn in the sense that it will give you an idea about how our culture has been evolved over time. So from Indus Valley Civilization to the present culture, how our culture was developed. So after Indus Valley Civilization, we had the Vedic culture, where we had the early Vedic period and also the later Vedic period. Now, in the Indus Valley Civilization, what we will see is that the nature was worshipped, like the nature, like for example, thunder, rainfall, trees, all these were worshipped as gods and goddesses. There was also a mother goddess. And when it came to early Vedic, again, this culture was continued. Okay. Then what happened in the later Vedic period? Now, what happened in later Vedic period is that the culture got changed. Now, the religious culture got changed and people started worshipping gods and goddesses. There came up large number of gods and goddesses. Also, people started doing yajnas, sacrifices, animal sacrifices, then this pujas and all. So, we can say that in the later Vedic period, there came up a culture where religion as an institution started growing. So when the religion as an institution started growing, the problem of division also started. Like for example, people started believing that the Brahmins were the higher class or the higher caste. Then came the Kshatriyas. So it was believed that the Brahmins came from the mouth of the god, then the Kshatriyas, like that it came, and then we had the Shudras and the Vaishyas, who were considered to be the lower class. So all these came up during the later Vedic period. So we will see that during the later Vedic period, the Brahmins started gaining importance in the society. The Brahmins were considered to be a very holy class, and they were given this right, or we can say they were only the people who were allowed to read this religious text, and then they were allowed to do this religious rituals and all. So they were considered to be a higher class. So as a response to this, what happened? We had two important religious communities, we will see coming up. It did not come up as a religious community, but later they developed as a religious community. So basically they evolved as a response to the Brahmanism, or what we call as this class and caste structure in India, which is our Buddhism and Jainism. So Buddha and Jain. Okay. Buddhism and Jainism. So after the later Vedic period, or during the later Vedic period, because of the importance given to the Brahmins, then came up the Buddhism and Jainism. Here, Buddhism and Jainism were based on several philosophies which said that all the human beings are equals, and then so many things like that. So we are not going into all those details. So it was during the 3rd century BC that the Buddhism and Jainism evolved in India. Okay, they began around the 3rd century BC with elements of religious training and impart of traditional knowledge. So in the 3rd century BC is very important for us, because we can say that the formal education in India began in the 3rd century BC, where the Brahmins were first given the religious training and all those things. They were imparted with knowledge and all, and as a response to that, Buddhism and Jainism also came up. And this Buddhism and Jainism also took up this idea of educating the people with several philosophies, etc. Okay. Then in this 3rd century BC itself, sagas and scholars started imparting education orally. Orally means through word of mouth. So orally, not through written script. So the sages and the scholars, they imparted the education orally. Then palm leaves and barks of trees were used for writing. So this was the earlier style of writing. If you have seen some movies and all, which for example, there are several movies, I cannot recollect all of them, but I have seen several historical movies, especially some of the Malayalam movies and all. In that there are certain incidents of Gurukula education and all. So there you will see that students use this palm leaves and the bark of trees, etc. for writing. So that was the earlier method. Then the ancient ways of education can be divided broadly into formal education and informal. So formal and informal education. So these were the two ways of ancient educational system. Now, indigenous education was imparted at home in temples, pathshalas, stalls, chatuspadis and gurukuls. So these were the centers which provided indigenous education. Okay, indigenous means education based on our culture, our beliefs, etc., our value system. Then the temples were the centers of learning and promotion of knowledge. So why? The Vedas were taught in the temples. So the temples were the centers of learning and the promotion of knowledge. So Vedas were taught in the temples. Students went to viharas and universities for higher knowledge. Now viharas means the place where all these saints live. So basically vihara, Chaitya and vihara, they are Buddhism and Jainism related centers where the Buddhist monks, or we can say Buddhist saints, or Buddhist monks, we can say Jain and Buddhist monks live. So the students went to viharas and the universities for higher education or higher knowledge. Okay. Now, this is a introduction about the ancient ways of educational system. If you have any doubts or anything you want to ask me, you can just ask me now. Then we will proceed further. Okay. So, this is the introduction about ancient educational system. Now we will come to fundamentals of ancient Indian education. So, what were the fundamentals or what values the Indian or ancient Indian education uphold, or what are the values based on which the ancient Indian education system was developed? So here we will be discussing about the fundamentals and the values. So Indian epistemological and philosophical traditions, which means that about India's culture, certain philosophies, etc. Now can someone tell me, because I'm not getting any answers or any response from you, I want you to answer this if you know anything, or like you can even attempt. Okay. So, can you tell me some of the Indian philosophies that we hold, or some of the value systems that we hold as a part of Indian culture? Anything, you can tell me anything. I'm sure you know some of them. I'm sure about it. So, can you tell me some of the values that we hold? So, what are some of the philosophical traditions or some of the values that we hold? Any other values that you remember? Yes, Gurukul is a very important tradition that we hold. Then anything, have you heard about Vasudeva Kudumbagam, and all those things are Indian values. Then Aditi Devo Bhava. So all these are some of the Indian traditional values and the cultural values that we hold. All are equal. Yes. So these were taught during this ancient educational system. And then yes, in early stage, gurus were equivalent to God. Yes. So, in Indian culture, in Indian history, we will see that as a part of our culture, teachers or gurus were equivalent to God. And yes, there is also a saying that Mata Pita Guru Devam. So, it means that parents and your mother, your father, and the teacher, they are equivalent to God. Yeah, then about life, about the world, the concept of ultimate death, then futility of mundane pleasures. So, all these. So, we will see some of the values in detail later about some of the Buddhism and Jainism schools of thoughts, etc., philosophical thoughts, etc. We will see. Now, coming to Gurukula system. Gurukula system again is very, very important, as Abin Shah was mentioning. So, this is a very important part of our early education system. So, this was an educational method in the ancient India, and ancient Hindu schools in India were residential in nature. So, this is called Gurukula. Gurukula means that Guru's house, or where the Guru stays. So, students had to stay there. So, this was a kind of residential schooling system. So, these Gurukula system were ancient Hindu schools in India, which were residential in nature, which means the students had to reside along with the teachers, and the shishyas or the students, they were living in the same house with the guru, or with the teacher. Okay. Then a very important thing is the students live together irrespective of their social standing, which means whether the student is from whatever kind of social background the student comes from, everyone stayed together. That is what Abhinsha was also telling. It promoted the value of equality. Okay, so that is there. So Gurukula educational system, even in the modern times, you will see that there are certain schools or certain kind of universities and schools which follow the same kind of same kind of system. So there are certain modern schools also. Okay. So I hope Gurukula system is clear. Actually, Gurukula system, it's very much familiar for you. All these things are very much familiar for you. Okay. Now, Yeah, Neetu has asked me about epistemology. Yeah, it means, it is a study of the nature, origin, and the limits of human knowledge. Like, for example, epistemology means about the human knowledge. Just tell you, Indian epistemological and philosophical traditions. So, epistemological means knowledge, and philosophy means philosophy and knowledge are different. So, epistemology is related to your knowledge, and philosophy is related to the philosophical ideas. Okay. Yeah. So this is about Gurukula, and the next one is the Vedic education. So this is what we said. After the Indus Valley, we had the Vedic culture. So in Vedic culture, we had this Vedic literature. So there are various Vedic literature like the Rig Veda, Samveda, Yajur Veda, Atharva Veda, etc., which dealt with different things. So Vedas were regarded as the oldest among the literatures of the world. So this is not just in India, but in the entire world, the Vedas are regarded as one of the oldest, or actually the oldest literature of the world. They are the original sources of philosophy of life. So this Vedic literature, so Vedic literature, they talks about the philosophy of life. So they have spoken about the philosophy of life. The Upanishads, the Smritis, and the Puranas all acknowledge the superiority of the Vedas. All acknowledge the superiority of the Vedas, which means the Upanishads, Smritis, Puranas, all these says that the Vedas or the Vedic literature is superior. And these are some examples of Vedic literature. We have the Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajurveda, Atharva Veda, etc. So these are some of the examples of Vedic literatures. Then there are two methods of teaching which were practiced during the Vedic period. So first one was oral and second one was Chintan. Chintan means to think. Okay. So two types of or two methods of teaching were practiced during the Vedic period. So oral means from the guru's mouth the students will learn, and next one was thinking. We can say the modern critical thinking maybe. Chintan. And admission by Upanayana. What is Upanayana? Upanayana means a student is leaving the home of his natural parents for that of the preceptor. That is, Upanayana means the student is or a person at the younger age itself, the person is living from his original house. He is living from his parents, leaving his parents and going to the guru's house to learn about the Vedas. This is called Upanayana. Upanayana, even during the modern times, Upanayana is seen in several places, especially among the Brahmanical community. And I remember there was a Malayalam movie which focuses on this theme of Upanayana, where a person was compelled, person in the sense that a very young boy, I think the age of 10 or 12 years, he was compelled to leave his parents and his house to the guru's house for learning the Vedas. So admission by Upanayana was there. So this was the Yeah, Pinsha has commented Kalivid. I don't remember the name of the movie, but there is a movie like that. So Upanayana, this Upanayana was practiced in the Vedic period. That means a person at his younger age itself will leave the home and his parents and then go to his guru's house to learn about the Vedas. Next is Brahmacharya or celibacy was compulsory. So Brahmacharya or celibacy was compulsory, and married youth was entitled to get education but denied the right of being the residential pupil. So basically, Brahmacharya, if you want to be a residential student, that means if you want to live in the Gurukula and be with the Guru and learn about the knowledge or acquire the knowledge, then celibacy or Brahmacharya was compulsory. That means the person cannot marry. Married youth was also given education, but they were not given the right of being a residential student. They cannot stay with the Guru. So permission to stay with the Guru was given only for those students who practiced celibacy or Brahmacharya. Abhinsha Malayali. Okay. Hi Mohit. Hi. Good evening Mohit. So where are you from, Abhinsha? So that was the norm. Okay. Next is three types of institutions were there. First one is Gurukulas. We know what is Gurukula, means the person has to stay with the Guru. Second one is Parishats, that is academies. And third one was Sammelan. Sammelan, you know, Sammelan means all these are Sanskrit words. So even basically because I come from Kerala, there is, some kind of means influence of Sanskrit in our regional language. We speak Malayalam, and there is some kind of influence of Sanskrit in Malayalam, and it's not just for Malayalam, but most of the South Indian languages, the Dravidian languages, which is spoken in Tamil Nadu, Tamil, Telugu, etc., Kannada also, there is an influence of Sanskrit. So it's very easy for the South Indians or the Dravidians to understand these terms like Gurukula. It's a Sanskrit term. Parishat, then Sammelan. Sammelan, even in Malayalam, we speak this as a very common word, Sammelan and all, because it's a gathering or a conference. Okay, so there were basically three types of institutions. There were Gurukulas, then there were academies which were called Parishats, and there were also Sammelans or the conferences. So these were the three kinds of institutions that existed during that period. Okay. Next is, during the Vedic period, one could choose a particular profession as he liked, and according to his Varna was determined. So Varna, the Varna system was determined according to the profession that he carried out. So profession, okay. This is very important. So Varna system evolved, as I said, Varna system evolved during the Vedic period. It was basically in the later Vedic period actually. In the later Vedic period, the Varna system evolved, and this Varna system, the Varna of a person, so it was determined according to the profession that he practiced, and every person was free to choose the profession that he or she liked. Then later Vedic period, Varna came to be determined by birth. So this is during the early Vedic period that Varna was determined according to the profession. Now, can you tell me, from the early Vedic period to the later Vedic period, what happened to the cultural history of India? So basically from the early Vedic period to the later Vedic period, what happened to the culture of India is that the early Vedic period is considered to be little more liberal. You see, in the early Vedic period, any person can choose the profession of his choice, and according to the profession that he choose, his Varna was determined. So what happens? If a person chooses a particular profession, then accordingly his Varna will be determined, which means that the person had the choice of Varna. So he can himself choose which Varna he belonged to. But see, when we come to the later Vedic period, Varna became determined by the birth, which means profession is not now the mandate, or profession is not the criteria to determine the Varna, but it is the birth of a person which will determine the Varna. So you have no choice here. So by birth, you are born to a family and you do not have any choice. You have to be there. So you cannot change your Varna. In the early Vedic period, if you choose a profession, then your Varna will be determined accordingly. So it was considered to be a little more liberal period where you had the freedom to choose your Varna. Later Vedic period became little more rigid, or we can say rather very, very rigid, because here the Varna was determined on the basis of birth. So according to birth, people were classified, and there were 4 Varnas: Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. So these were the 4 Varnas that existed during that period. So yes, this is about the Vedic culture and all. Now we will be coming to Sutras and Epics education. Okay, we will have an introduction about the Sutras and the Epics education. Tomorrow we will complete that. So after the Vedic literature, we had the Sutra literature. This was from 600 to 200 BC. So Vedic period was from till the 300. So after that we had the not after actually, we cannot clearly demarcate the time period, but still the Sutras and Epics education followed the Vedic education or Vedic literature. So Vedic literature was followed by Sutra literature, which was from 600 BC to 200 BC. So what is Sutra and Epics education? The rules and the regulations of education were manifested mainly in the form of Dharma Sutras. Now, what are Dharma Sutras? So, sutras and epics education means the rules and regulations, that is the guidelines of education. Guidelines of education were manifested mainly in the form of Dharma Sutras. So, Dharma Sutras embodied the principles of social conduct and a code of duties for the teachers and the students. So, Dharma means a person's Dharma. Dharma means what? What the person has to do. What is the ethical thing to be done? Dharma. So, Dharma Sutras, they embodied the principles of social conduct. How a person should behave himself, or the social conduct of a person, and the code of duties for the teachers and students. So, Dharma Sutras means certain things that the teachers and the students must follow and do. They are Dharma Sutras. So, Dharma Sutras, they spoke about the principles of social conduct, and a code of duties for the teachers and students were given through the Dharma Sutras. So, Dharma Sutra or Sutra literature consists of mainly 6 divisions, and this Sutra literature, which consists of the 6 divisions, are called Vedangas. Vedangas because Anga means 6. So, Vedangas. So, 6 divisions, and they were known as Vedangas. And students make specialization in different branches of learning here. So, specialization was given to students in different branches of learning. The educational system during the Sutra period was identical with that of the Upanishad period. So, Sutra period education was identical, or it was similar to the Upanishad period. And the 6 systems of philosophy. This is important. So, these were the 6 systems of philosophy during the Sutra literature, Sutra period. First one was Samkha of Kapila. Second one was the Yoga of Patanjali. Third one was the Nyaya of Gautama. Fourth one was the 20 Vaisheshika of Kannada. Then we had the Karma or Purva Mimamsa of Jaimini, and we have the Uttara Mimamsa or Vedanta of the Badrayana. So these are the 6 systems of philosophy. So this is about the Sutra literature. So 6 systems of philosophy: Samkha of Kapila, Yoga of Patanjali, Nyaya of Gautama, 20 Vaisheshika of Kannada, Karma or Purva Mimamsa of Jamini, and Uttara Mimamsa or Vedanta of Badrayana. Okay. Now we have 2 very important epics. So now we discuss about sutras and epics. We have 2 very important epics, and these epics are considered to be very important even now. That is the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. So these are the 2 epics of ancient India. We have the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. So Ramayana, Mahabharata. Now eventually the educational institutions turned into universities. So later this educational institutions, they turned into universities, and these are some of the early universities, the ancient universities. So you can at least, I will not tell you to memorize them, but familiarize with these names. So most of them are already familiar to you. Taxila, which is also called the Takshashila, Ujjain, Nalanda University, Benares, Ballavi, Ajanta, Madura, and Vikramshila. So these are some of the early or ancient universities that we have in India. So Preeti is asking me, ma'am, inme se question aata hai? Yes, yes, questions do come from this also. So I have referred to previous year questions also before taking this up. So these are the few ancient universities that we have or had in India. So I think we will wind up here today. Tomorrow we will take up Buddhist era education, very important. Then we will discuss about the educational centers and universities in ancient India, which is specifically mentioned in your syllabus. We will discuss about Takshashila, Nalanda, Vallabhi, Vikramshila, Mithila, Odantapuri, Somapura, Nadia. So all these are some of the important universities. So it is exclusively mentioned in your syllabus. So we need to understand them. So by tomorrow we will try to finish this particular chapter from this module, unit 10. So we will try to finish it tomorrow. Try to attend the classes every day, and please do share this video with your friends, and also please do like this video if you find it useful to you, and share this with your friends. So I'll meet you again tomorrow. Please do take care, study well, revise well, I'll meet you tomorrow. Bye bye. Hello friends and welcome to DigiiMento. So today we will be continuing our lecture with the higher education system. We were discussing about the higher education system in the ancient India in ancient times. So we will be continuing with that today. So let's begin. But before that, if you are preparing for GATE, NTA, UGC NET or PGT Computer Science, you can avail our online courses. And the details of these courses, you can find it from our website, that is www.digimento.com, or you can call to this number for getting more details about the courses that we provide. And also, if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe to our channel, and also please press the bell icon for receiving the notifications. Okay, so yeah, we will just begin the lecture. So we just started our discussion about the higher education system in India. So yesterday we were taking up the first topic of this particular module, that is the institutions of higher learning and education in ancient India. That is during the ancient institutions, or what were the systems of higher education or higher learning in India. So this is what we were discussing. So we will continue with our lecture. So these are the other topics which we will be discussing in this particular module. And if you are watching my lecture, please do let me know. Send me a hi, hello, so that I'll know that you are attending the lecture. So let me know. Hi Lipika, good evening. And if there is any technical issue, then also please let me know. I hope everything is going well. Lipika is asking me why the sutra literature started. Basically, it is not, we cannot say that it is just a new kind of education and all. Actually, what happened to the education system is that it was evolving over time. Now, the present educational system that we see, it has many aspects which has been derived from the ancient Indian times. So from the ancient India till now, till the date, the education system is evolving gradually. And we can never say that the education system has reached its fullest form or something like that. It will continue to evolve into better models. So we cannot particularly say that the sutra literature or the that system started all on a sudden, but it was a gradual transformation from the previous educational systems. Hi Yakub, hi Tasveer, hi Sharanya, and hi Vikrant. So again Lipika asking me, it developed after the Vedic period. Okay. So yeah. So these are the other topics which we will be discussing. So yesterday we have already seen these topics. Okay, so you can just have a look, those who have missed yesterday's lecture. Just have a look at the syllabus of the unit 10. So this is the detailed syllabus. So these will be the topics we will be discussing under this unit. No, hi Atira. Tasveer is asking बीच में Hindi भी बोल करो please. I will try. Okay, Lipika. So please go through the syllabus once. Please have a look at the syllabus once. Okay, so we will just see. So a quick revision of yesterday's class. Those who have not attended yesterday's class, a very quick revision. So this is about the education in ancient India. So how education started and all. You can just have a look. So in ancient India, we had both formal and informal ways of education. Okay, then viharas and chaityas, etc. They were Buddhist and Jain monasteries where the monks were living. And there were also universities. The temples were the learning centers. Then the fundamentals of Indian education system. So it had both epistemological, which means knowledge based, and philosophical traditions and knowledge based traditions were followed. The idea of ephemerality of life and the world, then concept of ultimate death, futility of the mundane pleasures. So all these were the important fundamentals or the value system. Then we discussed about the Gurukula system, where the student lived in the house of the Guru and lived. Then Vedic education. So that is after the Indus Valley Civilization period, we had the Vedic education. So Veda period also we discussed in some detail. If you have missed the lecture, please do try to watch it. Okay, you can just have a look. Lipika is asking me, how is my mother? Thank you so much, Lipika, for asking that. She is better now. Day after tomorrow, she has a review, and hopefully everything will go fine. Thank you so much, Lipika, for asking. Thanks a lot. Tasveer is asking me, please value education पे थोड़ा सा बता दीजिए. Sure. Value education we will definitely do. I will include that also in the content towards the end. So I think it's already mentioned also in your syllabus. Yes, value education and environmental education is one of your subtopics in the syllabus. So definitely we will cover that topic. We will be going in this order. First, we will cover about the institutions of higher learning and education in ancient India. Then we will come to evolution of higher learning and research in post-independence India. Here we will discuss about certain committees which were formed after the independence. Then we will discuss about the oriental conventional and non-conventional learning programs in India. Then professional, technical and skill-based education. Then value education and environmental education. Then the policies, governance and administration. So we will go in that same order. Definitely we will be covering that. Second last topic is value education. So we will cover that. Don't worry. Okay. So yeah, we were discussing about the Vedic literature, Vedic education and all. Important literature, Rig Veda, Samveda, Yajurveda and Atharva Veda, and both oral and Chintan. Chintan is thinking. Then Upanayana. Upanayana means a person during the childhood itself has to leave the family and go to his guru's house for gaining knowledge. Then we discussed about brahmacharya or celibacy, which was not compulsory, but if a student had to reside in the guru's house, then he or she has to practice brahmacharya. Okay. So you can just go through. Then varnas. Tasveer is asking me what is today's topic. We will be continuing with education system in ancient India. Okay. Then yesterday we discussed about sutras and epics. Epics is Mahabharata and the Ramayana. These are the two epics. You can go through. Then we discussed about 6 systems of philosophy. I'm just revising it because many students missed yesterday's class. That's why I'm revising it one more time. Then we discussed about epics of ancient India, Ramayana and the Mahabharata. Then yes, this is very important. I told you yesterday only that these are some of the famous or popular universities of the ancient times. That is Taxila, Ujjain, Nalanda, Benares, Ballavi, Ajanta, Madura and Vikramshila. Okay. Lipika is asking me after unit 10 start research aptitude. Yes, after unit 10 is very small. It will I will complete it in maximum 10 days. So after that we are going to research aptitude. Don't worry. Okay. Then about the Buddhist era education. Okay, so Buddhist era education we will start today. Okay. Now, in the Vedic age, yesterday we discussed how this Buddhism and Jainism started getting more importance and all. So, in the Vedic age, the student was given education up to 25 years of age, and after that, he was permitted to go home and lead the life. So, during the Vedic ages, the Gurukula system of education, it provided education up to 25 years. That is, till 25 years, the students were getting education, and after this 25 years, the person or the student was allowed to go back to his house and then lead a normal life. In the Buddhist system, after having received education, the student remained a monk for good and cut off his worldly relationship forever. So this is one of the important features of Buddhist education. So Buddhist education was based on this principle that even after 25 years or even after a person or student completes his education, he was not allowed to go back home. So instead of going back home, the student had to remain as a monk and also has to cut off his worldly relationships. Worldly relationships, your relation with your father, your mother, your siblings, your relatives, your neighbors, your friends, all these are worldly relationships. So Buddhist system of education followed this principle that even after the education was complete, then the student had to remain as a monk and then cut off his worldly relationships. And the aim of Buddhist education was to attain salvation. Salvation means what is that? Salvation meaning is that after death, I will tell you exactly what is meant by salvation. Salvation means that it is believed in the ancient times, and even now in many religion it is believed that there is life after birth, or you will be reborn again and again. But salvation means that the cycle of life and death. Cycle of life and death means a person is born, died, again reborn, then died, then reborn, then died, then again reborn. Like this, the cycle continues. Now salvation means that a person will be relieved out of this cycle of birth and death, which means he is getting salvation. So the aim of Buddhist education, it was mainly philosophical in nature, and it said that the aim of this kind of education was to help the students or help the people to attain salvation, to get the freedom from birth and death, that cycle of birth and death. Now, Suttanta, Vinaya and Dhamma. These were the main subjects prescribed for study in Buddhism. It is commonly known as Sutta Pidika, Vinaya Pidika and Dhamma Pidika. So these were the important subjects, and these Sutta Pidaka, Vinaya Pidaka and Dhamma Pidaka, it all mentioned about how a person's life should be, or how a behavior of the person should be, or what are the various things the person should do in his life, about the duties of a person and how the conduct of a person should be. Okay. Now, I will also tell you some of the Buddhist philosophies. I remember it as V R S CLERM, CLERM. Actually, this is my shortcut. You can make your own shortcut. Okay. So these are like 3, 6 and 8. So these are the 8 principles of Buddhism mainly. Okay, I don't remember everything now, but I'll just explain whatever I remember. V is right vision. Then R is I don't really remember all the philosophies, but these eight are there. So vision is there. Then C is for conduct. Then I will just refer it and then come back to you with this. So there were some basic principles in Buddhism. So these principles were to be followed, like right vision, right conduct, right kind of behavior with others. So all these things were there. And also Buddhism and Jainism both, it was against the materialistic pleasures, like the worldly pleasures. For example, gaining so much wealth. So this is a kind of materialistic pleasure. So Buddhism and Jainism were against all these. So this is all through all the ways through which a person can attain salvation. So according to Buddhism and Jainism, these are the various methods by which a person can attain salvation. Now, apart from Sutta Pidaka, Vinaya Pidaka and Dhamma Pidaka, there were other subjects which were taught in the Buddhist schools. It was spinning, weaving, printing of clothes, sketching, medicine, surgery, coinage. So all these were also apart from philosophy. It was not just philosophical, but apart from philosophy, these other subjects were also taught in the Buddhist schools. Okay. Next is the Buddhist schools also emphasized much on the practice and training for pure character. So emphasized on pure character. That is what we said. Certain conducts were to be followed. So example is not to steal, not to gain so much wealth. So all these were some of the principles or values which were taught in Buddhist schools, and which also help them to become a better person or a better character. Okay. Next, on the beginning, Pratipada and beginning is called Pratipada, that is the beginning, and then on the close, that is Purnima of each month, learned people used to assemble together, which was very important part of Buddhist education. So this was another feature of Buddhist education, that in the beginning of a month and at the end of a month, thus learned people, they used to assemble together, and this was an important feature of the Buddhist education. So the beginning of the month is called Pratipada, and the closure is called Purnima. Okay. Now I'll take up some questions. Tasveer has asked me, what is your channel name? I think I have subscribed it, but yet not know. It's my own channel, Telegram channel name is Joycey Joy Official. JoyCyJoy. Joycey Joy Official. Tasveer means, Tasveer says that salvation means Mufti Pana. Yeah, it's a kind of, we can say yes, Mukti, yes. Hi Rani. Hi Kaushalya. So any doubts from what we were learning till now? So any doubts? Anything to be clarified? Okay, we will continue. Then in higher education, religion, philosophy, military science, medicine and other difficult subjects were taught. So this is the case of higher education. And many monasteries, viharas were set up for monks and nuns to meditate, debate and discuss with the learned for the quest of knowledge. It's knowledge. E is missing, sorry. So many monasteries, viharas, that is what we said, viharas and chaityas. So viharas were set up for the monks and nuns to meditate, debate and discuss with the learned for the quest of knowledge, quest for knowledge. Educational centers of higher learning attracted students from China, Korea, Tibet, Burma, Ceylon, Java, Nepal and other distant countries, which means that this foreign education, the culture of foreign education prevailed even in the ancient times. The students from other countries came to India to get the Buddhist education. Now we will see here that these countries like China, which is mentioned here, China, Korea, Tibet, Burma, Ceylon, Java, Nepal and all. So these countries are also countries with very good base of Buddhist. So Buddhism is a very popular religion in these countries, and one reason can be that those students from these countries often visited India or stayed in India in the ancient times itself or from the ancient times itself to get knowledge from the Buddhist schools. Sharanya is asking me, is there any critical question there? Your question is not clear. Critical question. Okay, can you elaborate your question, please? Okay, next we will discuss about the educational centers and universities of ancient India. So here we will see each university in detail. Some of the important universities of ancient India. First one is Taxila, and Taxila is a very, very important ancient university. So Taxila, it's also called Taxila. So Taxila. So Taxila University was established in the 5th century in the northwestern Pakistan. So northwestern Pakistan, and Taxila was the capital of Gandhar kingdom or Gandhara kingdom, and this is the world's oldest university. This is very, very important. So this shows the culture of India or the importance of cultural history of India. So Taxila or Taxila is the world's oldest university, and also some of the well-known graduates of this university include Chanakya, Panini, Charaka, Vishnu Sharma, Jivaka, very important. Jivaka was a doctor, Okay, so these are some of the well-known graduates from this university, Taxila or Taxila. So this is the world's oldest university. So this is one thing that we can be really proud of. So we had, so now it's in the northwestern Pakistan, but in the undivided India, it was in India only. So we have the world's oldest university. Hi Puviri, hi Dilip. Okay, so I hope this is clear for you. Taxila. Next one is Nalanda. Again, Nalanda, very important university. It was established in the 5th century. So, 5th century. Then, famous cultural and education center of northern India, and Nalanda was in Bihar. So, it was one of the famous cultural and educational center of northern India. So, this is in Bihar, and this is dedicated to Buddhist studies, but also taught fine arts, medicine, mathematics, astronomy, politics, and the art of war. So basically Nalanda University is dedicated for Buddhist studies, Buddhism related studies, Buddhist or Buddhism related studies. But it also teaches fine arts, medicine, mathematics, astronomy, politics, and also the art of war. And at zenith in the hands of kings of Gupta dynasty, which means that the Nalanda University flourished and it reached its zenith, that is the topmost position during the rule of the Gupta dynasty, during the Gupta kingdom. Huansang is a famous pilgrim from China, studied and taught for 5 years in the 7th century in the Nalanda University. So Huansang was a famous foreigner who visited India to learn about the Buddhism related things, and he's a very famous pilgrim from China, and he studied and taught in this university for almost 5 years in the 7th century. So this is again very important, Huansang. Okay. Any doubts? Next is Vallabhi. It is the capital seat of the Maitraga kings, and it's known for its training in secular subjects and had students from all over, which means again it had students from all over the world. So it is known for its training in secular subjects, and also it had students from all over the world. Then we have Huansang, who is again the foreigner who visited India. Huansang, I think they too had found Vallabhi in the western side of India as glorious as Nalanda, and students from every part of India would flock there for education. So again, Vallabhi was a very important ancient educational institution in India, and Vallabhi was the capital seat of Maitraga kings. Okay, and Nalanda, remember, it's connected to Guptas because basically it was during the Gupta period that the Nalanda University flourished to its today's glory. Next we have Vikramshila. So Vikramshila was established by the famous emperor Dharampala of Pal dynasty. Pal dynasty is also known as Pala dynasty. So Pal dynasty, also called Pala dynasty. Okay. Pala dynasty. Okay. So Vikramshila University, this was established by the famous emperor Dharampala of the Pala dynasty. Dharmapal, he is also called Dharmapal. In the 8th century in the northern Magadh on the banks of river Ganges. So Vikramshila University, this is the location. So it was established in the 8th century in the northern Magadh on the banks of river Ganges, Ganga river, okay, river Ganges. And the university was later organized into 6 colleges. So this university got organized into 6 colleges in the later period, and the subjects of study was Vyakaran. Vyakaran means grammar. So subjects of study were Vyakaran, grammar, then logic, then philosophy, Tantra Shastra, and Karamkanda. So these were the subjects of study during that period in the Vikramshila University. Remember, it was then organized into 6 colleges. Okay. Now, the Vikramshila University was later destroyed by Bakhtiyar Khilji. So, Bakhtiyar Khilji in 1203 AD. So Vikramshila University was destroyed by the Bakhtiyar Khilji in 1203 AD. Okay, then we have Mithila University and Odandapuri, again very important. So Mithila University, they promoted Brahmanical system of education. So Brahmanical system of education, you will understand, or you know that what are the subjects that will be taught under a Brahmanical system of education. It will include subjects like literature, fine arts, scientific subjects, and Nyaya Shastra. Nyaya Shastra is law. So literature, fine arts, scientific subjects, and Nyaya Shastra were the subjects which were taught in Mithila University, and they followed a Brahmanical system of education. Next we have Odandapuri. Odandapuri is also very important. This was again established under the Pala dynasty. So established by Dharmapala of Pala dynasty during the late 8th century in Magadha. Why Magadha? Because Magadha was a very strategic location. So Magadha was a very strategic location. It was in the confluence of some of the major rivers also. So most of the important dynasties we will see, they have their capital at Magadha because of the strategic location of that dynasty. And the Odantapuri University could not attain that level of fame and repute which either the Nalanda or Vikramshila had. So as compared to Nalanda University or as compared to Vikramshila University, Odantapuri could not attain that level of fame and repute. So that level of fame and reputation was not attained by the Odantapuri University. So this is about the famous, some of the famous. Next one is Somapura. So again this is under the developed under the Pala dynasty. So Dharmapala, again Dharmapala of Pala dynasty during the late 8th century, the Somapura was established in Bengal, and it was a major centrism and Hinduism. So it was a major center of learning for Buddhism, Jainism, and Hinduism also. Next we have Nadia. It is situated at the confluence of Ganges and Jalanji rivers in Bengal. So at the confluence of Ganga river and the Jalanji rivers in the Bengal. Nadia again. It was also a center of trade and commerce, learning and culture. Nadia University. A center of trade and commerce, also a center of learning and culture. So this is about the Nadia University. Now, briefing up. In ancient India, monasteries and huge sacred places had been established to assemble and also conduct certain debates. Okay. And most of the universities are seen to have ended around 12th century. So most of the universities seem to have ended around the 12th century. It can be through the way of destruction or anything. The destruction of these centers and other places across the northern India was responsible for loss of ancient Indian knowledge. So basically we will see that yesterday itself in the class I told you that we cannot clearly put a distinction between where ancient India ends, where the medieval Indian history starts, where the medieval India ends, and the modern India or the contemporary India starts. So we cannot put a definite demarcation for all these. But according to certain incidents or certain events and on the basis of certain things, we broadly make a classification as ancient, medieval and modern India or contemporary India. But this is not accurate. So we cannot definitely say that this is where the ancient India ended. So basically what happened following the ancient Indian history, ancient India is supposed to be the history until we had the Hindu rulers and all, Aryans and the Hindu rulers, etc. But medieval India is considered to begin in India when the Muslim rulers from the Arab countries, the Turkey and all came to India and established their kingdom in India. So basically when we enter into the second phase, that is the medieval India, due to the Arabic invasions or we can say the Islamic dynasties were established in India during the medieval period. So during that time we have seen that many ancient universities in India were destroyed and distracted. Examples are Nalanda, some parts of Nalanda University, like some library of the Nalanda, Taxila, etc. Then again we have seen that Vikramshila. Vikramshila was a very famous university, very important university. It was destroyed by Bhaktiar Khilji. So we will see that many universities were destroyed during the coming phases, coming times. So because of this destruction of the universities, we were not able to get much knowledge, or we lost some of the ancient Indian knowledge. Okay, so it is through the universities, the places and all, we understand what was the culture during that time, what was the society like during that time, etc. So destruction of many universities has also led to the loss of many ancient Indian knowledge as well. Okay, so we will wind up here. If you have any doubts, we will discuss that also. Then we will wind up. Tomorrow we will be taking up the next topic. That is Yes, tomorrow we will see evolution of higher learning and research in post-independence India. So this is the topic that we will be discussing tomorrow. Okay. We will see how the higher education, learning and research evolved in the post-independence India. That is after 1947 till now. How did the higher education system in India developed? So if you have any doubts, we will quickly go through the slides. We will take 2 minutes and then quickly go through the slides. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Okay. So yeah, you can quickly go through. You can revise it. I'll take maximum 2 minutes. You can, by that time you can revise it. You can just read the slides. You will get some more idea. And after attending the class, if you can revise that day itself, it's more helpful for you. So if you don't find time, otherwise you can do it in the class itself, now itself. I'll give you just 2 minutes. I will just show you the slides also, so that you can quickly glance through them and retain them in your memory. Okay. When I take the classes, you may feel that everything is understood, but you have to read it again. Then only you will get the clarity. So please go through it. Hi Shamna. Rani, can you explain about formal and informal education system? Okay, formal and informal education system, the difference is that in the formal education system, we can say Gurukula education, all these were formal education system where the students were sent to a formal institution like Gurukulas or the universities or some centers of education like temples and all. So this is called formal education. Informal education means through the word of mouth or through reading some textbooks or something like that, which was not at all a formal kind. That is the basic difference. So here 6 systems of philosophy is important. Then epics are important. So epics are important, Ramayana and Mahabharata, and they are very important even now. I think the importance have increased only. Then the names of the ancient educational institutions are important. Then coming to Buddhist era education, very important. Kaushalya is asking me, where is Mithila University located? Mithila University is is near to Bihar, Jharkhand and West Bengal. Most of the universities were either in the western side or in the eastern side. Mostly whichever universities were established by the Palas and all, it was in the Bengal region, Bihar Bengal region, because the Pala dynasty was there only in the Bihar Bengal belt. Okay. So all those universities are there. Today only came your live, really very nice, ma'am. Okay, thank you so much, Dilip Kumar. Thank you so much. Tomorrow also same time, we will meet at 7:30. Okay, 7:30 is the time, and if there is any change, we will inform you in the Telegram channel. So usually 7:30 is the time. Okay. Then we discussed about all these. Then we discussed about other ancient universities. Okay, Taxila, then Nalanda, Vallabhi, Vikramshila. Thank you, Kausalya. And Sharanya, tomorrow same time. Same time 7:30. And if there is any change, I will let you know. Okay, if there is any change. Telegram link, Telegram, my Telegram channel is Joycey Joy Official, but I will not be updating there about the class timings and all. So you can just subscribe to our DigiiMento Education channel. You can subscribe. Thank you, Dilip. Thank you, Sharanya. Thank you, Kausalya. So Vikramshila, then Mithila, Odantapuri, Somapura, Nadia. So this is all. So any more doubts, anything else? So tomorrow we will meet at the same time, 7:30. So until then, do take care, study really well, and also be calm, be cool. Any other doubts, anything you want to ask me, I will just answer. Hi Manikantan, thank you so much Manikantan. So anything else, any other doubts? So tomorrow the timing is 7:30, live classes. So live will be at 7:30 p.m. And do join our Telegram channel. There we will be updating about all the sessions. Okay, you can join, and there is one Telegram channel, that is DigiiMento Education, where you will get all the general announcements. Otherwise, there are some batch-wise channels also. Somebody else can comment about those batch-wise channels so that the others can also join. So I think you can join the DigiiMento Education, where you will get the updates about the classes. And if you like the classes, please do like this video, and also please do share this video with your friends also, and tell them to join our classes from tomorrow. All the paper 1 topics, the paper 1 will be completed in the YouTube channel, and this will be free of cost. So paper 1 full we will be providing free of cost, and paper 2 for electronic sciences and the computer sciences, we are providing online courses. You can visit our website to find more details about the online courses that we provide. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again tomorrow at the same time. Thank you. Take care. Bye. Good night.